Hello everybody, this is a video response about Laci Green flirting with taking the red pill. And you'll have to forgive me for rambling on in the way that I always do and inserting myself into this conversation in the manner that I please. But by the end of this video, you might rewatch it and look for all the double entendres that I might be dropping. So I'm going to give you 3 examples that I've seen in my life, each separated by almost a decade. But in these examples, I hope to draw a correlation between them as far as human interaction goes. So the first happened back in 2001. I was a soldier stationed in Camp Doha, Kuwait, and I was in a chow hall when I saw during my dinner time that the Twin Towers had been attacked with planes and that the Pentagon had been attacked. I was like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong place. I thought I was in the wrong place, right? Some of my coworkers, however, who were itching to get a combat patch, they were listening to our chain of command and they were saying, you know what? Maybe this is finally our chance to use all this training that we've gone through for years and years. You know, some of these guys had been in for like 10, 15 years. They missed their previous chances to get a combat patch on their arm. So they were stoked. They're like, yes, finally, we're going to go to war. This is what we've always wanted. Yes, we're going to clean up this shithole. We're going to spread America everywhere. You know, they were really sold by it. And, of course, they did a whole bunch of extra things like, you know, gearing up for war by PMing Humvees for the 20th time in a week, squeezing axle grease into those ball bearings, you know, and watching clean grease come out the other end because, you know, it didn't need it. But they were cleaning their guns, polishing their boots, and doing everything that really doesn't matter when you are engaging in warfare in modern times. But they were geared up. They really wanted to go to war because they had been waiting for this their entire careers. You know? And here it was, their chance being sold to them by their superiors. You know, if you guys look like you're ready for war, we might take you into war. You know, we don't want I Corps to take our spot because they're more prepared. You know, we need to be prepared ourselves, and we need to look like we can get the job done. Fast forward about 8 years in my life. I had just moved to Louisiana. I was a disabled vet, and I just lost my sister to cancer, and I wanted a new start around a different set of family. And I thought that family would bring us together. The sense that I was still a part of their family would overpower anything else, like, say, me not being religious. But no, all of my family in Louisiana were highly religious folk. And one day, I was in an Ace Hardware, and my cousin Elise was tipped off to the fact that I might not believe in her Jesus. And I remember her eyes lighting up. Like, what? It's impossible. You have to believe in God. You know, what? And then the gears started turning in her head. She had been raised, indoctrinated, since a little kid to find that person to preach to spread the gospel to. And she had finally found someone outside of her bubble that she had some connection to, this being a family connection to me, where she could speak about Jesus in a very safe way and maybe convert someone. And I remember thinking at the time that this was like conversion porn. Like somebody who really, really, really wants to change somebody else's mind. And they've been waiting for this opportunity forever, and when they finally find it, they go fucking bonkers. They're like, wow, you know, I might be able to get it done. And I remember thinking back to those soldiers who were told to do so many extra duties by their chain of command, who just wanted to look good, who just wanted accolades for themselves for having a well-oiled war machine, you know. And they did so much extra work, all thinking that they were going to get the chance to get it done. I remember Elise stopping by my house saying, "Hey, Michael, do you need help with your laundry? Hey, Michael, you want to come over for dinner? We're having shrimp. Hey, Michael, how come you don't go to church? You know, there's girls there that, you know, they're about your age, and you might get a girlfriend. Hey, Michael." Yeah, every time she came over with any sort of favors or goods or good-natured talk, it was always her foot in the door as a salesman for Jesus, as a little baby evangelist. And she was trying so hard, and she had no idea that I was just in a different world. I wasn't even thinking about things in that respect. I was looking for a home where I could be accepted outside of that paradigm altogether. That's why I moved to Louisiana. And I didn't find it. And when I moved away, I remained the same atheist I was when I arrived, just a few years later. Fast forward another almost decade. It's 2017. The YouTube great debate community has been decimated and flipped on its side when the battle lines were redrawn. Instead of its atheists versus theists, it's now SJWs versus shitlords. And I see a video after the dust has settled by Laci Green saying that she's seen in the other side that they're not all bad people. You know, these are some nice people. I might be willing to have conversations with these people. I'm open to having conversations with these people. You know? And you guys might think that I'd being the person who's talked about censorship and flagging on YouTube as much as I have, I might be quick to point out that she just made a video about how she doesn't agree with censorship, and she's the one who flagged roaming millennials videos with the DMCA because she didn't like that roaming millennial had used clips of her in a very fair use fashion. You might think that I might bring that back up at this point, but I'm going in a different direction. Okay, don't stray away from where I'm going here. Laci Green says that by the end of the video, she says, you know, and about that red pill, looking like she's about to pop it into her mouth, right? What I remember Laci Green for in the past decade here on YouTube is that she started out as an atheist YouTuber, just like myself. And then she found a different cause, feminism, and sex positivism, and she decided, you know what? This other cause has a far larger potential audience, okay? And I'm being held back by my atheism being put out there on the forefront. So let me just go ahead and take my channel that I built my initial reputation on, because it doesn't really mean as much to me as the attention of this new debate. And let me just private all the videos on that. So she went to her Go Green 18 channel, despite it having so many videos that were well received by people who wanted to see the same arguments of Hitchens and Dawkins actually being portrayed by a young, attractive woman instead of a salty, gray-haired, wrinkly, bald old guy, right? She took all those videos and just privated them, and then went on to a little bit more success with her sex positive show, and then on to Braless, you know, which I know when it came out and the name of her show came out, people were saying, you know, there's an irony in somebody who's trying to be a feminist making a show called Braless, you know, inviting men to look at her boobs with the title, but then there are people like, no, it calls back to a time when feminists of a different era were burning their bras. That's what it's all about. And believe me, she's a quick study in communications. Look up her resume. And it's a double entendre. And it gets people to think two different ways. Okay? Running theme in this video, by the way. So, she sold out her atheism. Didn't want that smearing her as she was getting more fame in a general U.S. audience where she was about to make the move to TV. And that's when I realized that Laci Green didn't really care about her principles as much as she cared about popularity. So it comes to this video that she made, flirting with taking the red pill, and I realized that by the end she's saying, you know what? I want to be Grand Central Station of your attention, and now that I'm willing to open up to you and listen to you, the other side, I'm going to host on my channel debates that you guys have already been having before for a couple years between shitlords and SJWs. I'm now going to want to be the host of all these debates, even though you can find them, you know, everywhere. She's acting like this is a conversation that needs to be had because you guys are having it already, but it needs to be had on her channel. You know, spray her with your attention, if you will. And when she flirts with taking that red pill at the end, like she's about to pop it into her mouth, I, for one, realized that Laci Green, she doesn't care about taking your red pill, okay? No, she doesn't care about taking a red pill. She will take any color pill that she thinks you believe she's willing to swallow. And if you think you're going to be selling a red pill to Laci Green, don't be surprised when the quick study at communications ends up selling a green pill back to you.